Okay, so let's just get started. So this is Cubescape Seasons by Rusty Lake. It is a point-and-click room escape game. It is free in the App Store and in Play Store, and you can find various versions of it on various flash game sites. That is a creepy telephone. So this is my first YouTube video. I've never posted a video before. I've decided to kind of just make a gaming channel, not really appeasing to anyone in particular, not looking for a, specific niche. No reaction videos, no indie horror games, or at least not distinctly. I'm just kind of going to play whatever I kind of feel like. It can be various different styles, different types. And my overall goal is that people will find games that they, have never heard of and maybe want to try, or maybe people will see games they have thought about trying and, take a look at it and decide if they actually do. Now, I have actually played this game before, played it in high school. Obviously have not played it in a little bit, so I don't fully remember. I just love the aesthetics of these games though. Considering they're just, very simple point and click room escape. I like the little details. I find it really interesting, and I like how they make a very cohesive series of games, despite them being incredibly different in terms of story. They use a lot of ongoing images. There's the last piece. I was wondering where it was. So in pretty much every single game, you're going to be looking for cubes. There's going to be some sort of bird, some sort of creepy telephone. Now this is what I mean by details I like about this game. Now that we're in the 70s, now you get that kind of red tint to the pictures, kind of like pictures from the 70s. You get that really hideous, wallpaper going. Everything kind of has that filter look. It's the little details, I think, that really make these games sort of stand out from the others. They are surreal. They are influenced strongly from David Lynch, which, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of David Lynch. But I do completely understand where they're coming from, and I actually really like how they implement it. I am kind of just muddling my way through it. I vaguely recall some puzzles, which is probably helping me get through it fairly quickly. One thing I don't care for about Rusty Lake games is sometimes the puzzles are not necessarily difficult, but they just make absolutely no sense at all. There's no rhyme or reason why you need to do things that you need to do to get things to happen. Not so much in these games, but the farther into the games that you get, the less sense some of the puzzles actually make. And even when you think about it and you look up or walk through and you figure it out and then you go back and, actually try and reason, it still makes no sense. I did manage to complete all the games without walkthroughs, which is pretty good. But one of those puzzles I was talking about, you'll probably see in a later video. I'm probably going to post Hotel, which is my least favorite Rusty Lake game. But in it there is a puzzle with these monkeys, and it's literally just trial and error. It makes absolutely no sense. There's no clue, there's no hints, there's no anything. Some people consider these horror games. I don't really consider this a horror game. It's a surreal room escape game. I think that's pretty much as far as you can take it. It has some horrific ideas, such as this one, which if memory serves me correctly, I have to go stab the bird. Yeah. So, yeah, it has some darker elements. I wouldn't really consider it horror unless you consider the little short kind of jump scare things with the shadow figure horror. Personally, I don't. I like that mental health and fishing. It's hilarious. It's kind of a funny game, kind of a satire. Helps if I turn it on, I think. Yeah, okay. I'm like, why is this not doing anything? Gotta get them cubes. And that is really gross. I don't remember this. Oh, that's cool and disgusting all at the same time. Alrighty. And like I said, this is a free game. They do have a number of free games. They also have some premium games. And I like that each level in this game has its own sort of theme, its own sort of music choices. Everything feels distinct and yet connected. I like how it's kind of just this disrepair. You have the dust and the moths and the flies everywhere. I find that kind of a cool little touch. Even little cracks in the wallpaper and in the cement. 13:10, so I think if you put that into the clock, it'll open. Probably be some sort of jump scare. Jump scare in air quotes. And let's see. Oh, look, it's me. I don't really have too much to say about this right this moment. Now I am going to probably be posting the lake. It's another game. It's kind of a prequel, sequel to this game. You need to get a code from Seasons to unlock an alternate ending. Which the code, for those of you who do not know, is 1487, which is the code that was used earlier on in the game. This is a fairly basic game, so I'm not going too in depth and actually commentating on it. For other games, I'll probably talk a little bit more about them. This one's more just an intro. It's essentially on those, on the side of the pictures, gives you time, enter it into the clock, and you unlock new things. Now this is actually one of the genius things with this game, and one of the reasons I really quite like it, is if you actually take the time to play it all the way through, when you change something and then you look around the next time you go, it'll have all the little tiny little details. And I think it's really the details, like I said, that really make this game. There's so many room escape games, so many free ones, even ones that you pay for, and they don't put that same sort of thought into it. And I think it's just something that works really, really well with this game. Now within this series, everything is rather distinct within the series, however, using the similarities, they are able to make something cohesive. That being said though, it doesn't feel like you're necessarily playing the same game over and over and over again. There are some really cool, interesting puzzles and interesting situations that are kind of built in, depending on which game that you're playing. So they all feel connected, and they are connected. It's all supposed to be like the same universe, but there is some really cool sort of things that they work on. So for instance, in this one, you're trying to change the past. It's a room escape that's not a true room escape. In case 23, you're trying to figure out the murder of a woman, the woman who you see on the moon here. She's in that one as well. In Roots, you're trying to determine the whole family tree, the root of evil. Unlock the various important moments in the family members' lives and save them from death or kill them, depending on what stage of the game you're at. In Harvey's box, you are literally escaping a cube. In Hotel, you are making 3-star dinners out of the guests who inhabit the hotel. So now all of the changes you can put together and change the past. Look on the board here, it tells you which little contraption those will be going into. I also feel the need to point out when you look at the bulletin board, I find it always a funny little choice, but the happy faces, the only one that is right side up, is the one reminding you to get your Prozac prescription. All the other ones are upside down. Pill goes in 4. 2, 3, 4. Now you can obviously, each time that you go back into the past and make a change, you can come in and do it all then. I chose to leave it all for the very end and do them all together. The nice thing about this game is the fact that you do have options where you can kind of adjust it as you would like. I think I remember where this is. Yeah, this is too. Oh. So it's like, is this 2 or is this 3? I don't consider myself a gamer. I never really have. But I do enjoy playing games, and I think that's something to... that is trippy. I always think video games are just kind of a fun way to spend time. I like to casually kind of play games. Alright, so should be able to... It should do something. Should I? Okay. Am I missing something? Like, I just keep clicking it and nothing's happening. Oh, okay. So you have to go back and change the path. So I guess try spring, and if spring doesn't work, kind of keep moving forward. Okay, there we are. I guess that's been a while since I've played it. Oh look, it's me. I'm the woman. Winter 1981. It's just all the cubes flying around. Alright, so I think this is the end of the game. Credits? No credits? Maybe no credits? Wait, there's like that little dot. Maybe I'll click on. Oh, okay, I got it. Very cool, very cool. The end. Alright, so that was Seasons. Really hope that you enjoy it. And if you like it, leave me a comment or subscribe, or both. It's entirely up to you. Ciao.